This is how Coach Fizdale would like to use Julius Randle. Take a listen.
I'm going to do a lot of different stuff with Julius. I'm going to bring him, I'm going to have him handling pick and roll. I'm going to have him setting pick and rolls. He'll post and ice, and I'll run pin downs for him, cross screens and pin downs. So, you know, for a guy like that with that kind of talent, I want to be able to move him around and utilize the skill set from different parts of the floor.
Okay, now you heard that. He said he wants him to handle the ball in the pick and roll. Okay, so if he's handling the ball in the pick and roll, who is he rolling? Who is the roller? Is that Mitch? Maybe Mitch. Maybe it's Bobby Portis. Right? You would expect it to be one of those two guys. You know, probably Bobby Portis on a pick and pop. Maybe not as much of a pick and roll. Although Bobby Portis can do some pick and, you know, a little bit of pick and roll. But it would probably be a pick and pop. A pick and pop for Bobby Portis. All right, with Mitch, you're looking at probably a pick and roll. All right, of course, you're going to have him setting picks. So if he's setting picks, you got guards, you got Elfrid Payton, Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr. You know, so hopefully, you know, if he's setting picks with those guys will be able to find Julius Randle. He's a big, strong target. You should be able to find Julius Randle if he's rolling to the basket, or even if he pops, because he can pop. All right, obviously, we know he's a beast in the post. And we talked about it when we did the film breakdown on Julius Randle. He can ISO. You know, I'm not going to say that he's, you know, Kobe Bryant in an ISO, Carmelo in an ISO, James Harden in an ISO. But he can ISO. He can get some buckets off the ISO. You know what I'm saying? But he's so strong. If he can get to the cup, he's going to get to the line. He said he wants to do some pin downs, right? So if he's doing some pin downs, then he's catching that ball in that mid post, in the mid-range area, you know, so you can get him into some isolation situations. You know, I'm not sure how much he can do a catch and shoot. You know, if you're doing a pin down, sometimes he'll have the opportunity, you know, for a catch and shoot. I'm not exactly sure if Julius Randle can do a catch and shoot. There'll go some more details about how he wants to use these guys. Clearly, they've scouted and had in their mind a game plan for how they want to use Julius Randle and been working on it, talking about it all summer long. Look, they signed these guys early, very early. You know what I mean? So it's not like they were waiting. They got it out the way. Boom, 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 boom. So now you have time to sit down and talk to each player about where they like the basketball, how they like the basketball. Where are you most comfortable on the floor? And then start developing plans to use these guys. You know, so that's how he wants to use Julius Randle. And I do want to take you back to, I'm going to bring the video back to one more thing, because he said another thing on how he wants to use Julius Randle. And I'm interested to see how you guys think about this. Right? Because I talked about this a little bit before, and some people kind of, you know, Sam, you don't know what you're talking about. All right, but let's take a listen to this here. Again, Julius Randle. This is David Fizdale on a way and how he'd like to use Julius Randle.
He may arguably our most versatile player. You know, he brings the ball up for us. He's going to play a lot of point forward, especially when he rebounds it. He can post you. He can play off the elbow. I think he's an underrated passer.
Let's stop it right there. You heard what he said. Okay? He said point forward. He may play some point forward for us. Now, that's not saying that he's going to do it all the time. But he may play some point forward. Because he can get it off the glass and he can handle it, he can bring the ball up. Right? Now, I know I said small forward. He might play, maybe he'll play some small forward. Point forward and small forward doesn't have to be the same thing. I get that. All right, so I'm going to take that back when I said you guys were like, Sim, you're crazy. I'll take that back. Right? Because, you know, I remember back I said small forward, but, you know, point forward. He might play some point forward, handling the ball a little bit. Now, a question about Julius Randle was, does he have basketball IQ, right? There's been people who's kind of questioned his basketball IQ. Does he have enough basketball IQ to run and be a point forward on a team? Well, I guess we'll find out this year whether or not he does. Right now, we all know that David Fizdale has some grandiose schemes going on in his head sometimes, or just says some things, but we don't, last year he said a lot of things. Didn't always see it come to fruition. I want to know what you think about this. Point forward. Do you see Julius Randle running any point forward? So I want to hear from you guys. Right? And listen, you can call in, man. 516-405-2246. Give me a call. Let me know what you think. All right, let me know if you think Julius Randle might be able to run some point forward. I see El Honcho says Randle has severe tunnel vision and over-reliance on his left hand. Now, you say that. Coach Fizdale says he's an underrated passer. I guess we'd have to really break down and see if there's any times that where other teams have used him to run that point forward spot. We'll have to check that out and see. I haven't really seen him do it. So I want to know what you guys think, man. I'm going to come to a video chat. Like I said, you guys can feel free to call in. All right. And I got Mike here. Hopefully Mike's got the audio working. Mike, can you hear me? My man Mike, can you hear me? I can't hear you, my man. I don't know what's going on, but I can't hear you, so I'm not sure. So I'm going to come to Roz. Roz? I don't know. Roz, you look like you're about to go out and rob a bank or something in your Knicks gear.
Nah,
but,
I'm with the sniping squad. I'm with the sniping squad. That's what it is.
All right. Tell me, can Julius Randle can Julius Randle run point forward? Roz,
what's good?
Can Julius Randle run point forward?
Oh, my bad. I was lost. Sorry.
Yeah. I need you guys to be on with it, man. I'm going to skip past you.
My bad. Can Julius Randle what?
Can he run point forward?
On that position exactly, I wouldn't know as much. But seeing what I saw with him in the Pelicans when he had to take over in the team, I feel like he's a player that he's diverse enough to be in any position, and he's also a coach type of player. So I feel like whatever coach wants to do, I'm all for it.
Okay. All right. So you're not exactly sure whether or not he can run point forward. Nate, I'm gonna come to you, and then I'm gonna come to Guillermo because I know Guillermo's been doing some research on Julius Randle. Nate, what do you think, man? Can he run point forward?
Yes, he can. And I actually said in past shows that I think that's how they're going to utilize him. Listen, Julius Randle's a scorer. You need to put the ball in his hands. And Julius Randle has shown the ability to find the open man when he gets double teamed or has a lot of traffic in the post. And one thing Perry did say is what they wanted more shooters. Well, I wonder why. Because they're going to play inside with Julius Randle, and if Randle's got a lot of traffic inside, they're going to kick it out to the shooters and give them open shots because of the defense coming inside on Randle, because he's gonna demand double teams at times. I mean, the guy is just very hard to guard and is very versatile in every aspect. And honestly, Sim, I really think that they're going to use the philosophy that Orlando did with Dwight Howard. They played everything to Dwight Howard inside, and what did they surround Dwight Howard with? Shooters. And I think that that's kind of the Knicks, the way they're going to do with Randle is they're going to play everything inside with Randle and and Randle seems like a willing passer, will get the ball out to the shooters to make the shots.
So you think they might use him as he's doing the point forward, but it's from the post.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be in the post a lot. What it kind of reminds me of how they think might utilize him is Kyle Quinn. Do you remember when they had Kyle O'Quinn in the post a lot, and Kyle O'Quinn would make those passes out of the post, and whether he would make the play inside or he'd kick it out to the shooters. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of how they're gonna use Julius Randle. I think you have to have him in the post, man. He is he is a great scorer inside, and you want to get him as close to the cup as possible. And I mean, you might start him at the top, but I think at some point he's going to find a way inside because he's so big and strong and he's
naturally,
fast.
yeah, naturally,
Yeah.
And he should find himself inside.
But I think he's a willing passer. If you watch some of his videos, I mean, he worked well with Anthony Davis, and when he got a lot of attention, he would give the ball to Anthony Davis.
Okay.
So I think he could be a willing passer. Like I said, I think he could average 5 assists this year. I really do.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Guillermo, I'm coming to Guillermo because I know Guillermo's been doing some, breaking down Julius Randle in his game. So tell me, can he run point forward? Fizdale said he might use him at point forward.
Right. I'm not even going to let you finish this, Sim.
All right.
You're damn right Julius Randle could run point forward, man. Bruh. Knicks fans, offensively, y'all going to be pleasantly surprised by what y'all see by Julius Randle. Like, in terms of his facilitation, like I said, man, there's certain people that they like, you know how like short guys want to be tall? Like, how can I put it? Like, sometimes back in the day, the smaller guards wanted to like post up and act like big men, and the big men wanted to have a front facing game like the smaller guys. Julius Randle, when he facilitates, it's almost like a pride thing when he gets that little through pass to somebody cutting. Like, remember how Kyle O'Quinn used to make that little pass at Doug McDermott? Like,
right.
And we haven't seen that in a while. A big man who's facilitating selflessly.
Cut, right? They used to do that little backdoor play.
Exactly. And that was just literally one setup play where Doug McDermott and somebody would come, and it's like the fake set of screen, but then Doug McDermott would cut right back, and then he'll catch at the beneath. Julius Randle likes to facilitate. And another thing about it is that he dribble drives, facilitates. So when he's driving to the basket, a lot of times you saw last year where it was Vonleh, it's like we saw a lot of big men, or we saw big men on our team kind of drive to the basket and had a very linear view as to what they're doing. Like, it's either all or nothing. I'm going to drive to the basket and try to get a foul, try to do something. If I get stuck, then I'm doing that. Julius Randle, when you watch him play, when he drives to the basket, he can sense when the defenses are collapsing on him. And that's why I think that spacing and what Fizdale said, he said he's going to have curls out sub screens. He needs to have proper spacing because we got to have a 3-point shooter on the perimeter, catch passes from Randle, driving to the basket, the driving kick. This offense is going to be humming. Like, I would love to see Julius Randle as a point forward in this team. Look, if the DSJ experiment doesn't work, if Frank is still not coming along perfectly, you're still going to have Peyton, but you're going to need a big man to kind of spell those guys. Spell them, whether it's in sets or whether they sit on the bench and Randle's in at the time being. Julius Randle can facilitate as a point forward. He's a smart, heady guy. And also take this account. When you look at his scouting from Kentucky, it wasn't like that was a main part of his game. So this guy, when we talk about what he learned, I don't know if he learned it from Kobe because Kobe's not a natural facilitator, but he learned that from somewhere. And for him to develop that within these 4 years, when he was basically a traditional power forward with the Lakers, and then with the Pelicans, where maybe he did it from necessity when AD went down. Like, this kid, Julius Randle, he's a smart kid. So you're damn right he can run point forward, man. I'm mad excited to see him use it like a big man Swiss Army knife for our team, man.